What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Here's a garden update. Alright, so here's some lemongrass. These ones have been harvested last week, filled up about 35 bags. Alright, so I got some we'll go this way, Chris. 2 dwarf blueberries bushes. This just came up on its own. It's just a cinnamon basil from last year. This is the lime basil. Produces, I guess. And yep. So I harvested. Never mind. Alright. So this is African basil. Majority of this is all African basil. This is what I cut away. This is what it looks like under the plant. Because it has no sunlight. Too much water. Alright. So mint. Alright, here's the other side of the African basil. So basically those are mints. What's left of them after the heavy sun wilted. Right. So kale, the only one left, survived the harlequin bugs and the aphids. Some mint, 2-year-old banana pepper, needs some fertilizer. This is wilted here, must be dry or not. Another banana pepper, I freeze the ones I get. I planted some basil at the bottom just to repel any bugs. So mint needs to be a lot lush, but if one stem survives, then it'll regrow. Well, there is some weeds over here, Chris, and they're bolting. I did do weeding. So basil I just planted a couple weeks ago and from cuttings. So this is where my 6 collard greens were. They had about 30 collard greens per plant, but something ate the heads in the middle of the plant, the brassica, and it really might have been aphids. So we got a little bit of sunlight. Alright, so these are the 2 extra large, come over here, 2 extra large lemongrass plants. I didn't harvest from these because I ran out of bags, and I'll just have those for if I ever need it. Here's a hot pepper plant, DAIL, something like that. I'm not sure. Let me look. And then there's some mint back there. These 5-gallon buckets. So I didn't harvest those 2 mints. I've harvested every mint plant a month or 2 ago. Probably 2 months or 3 months. So those are just hot peppers down there. Kind of look like a habanero, but they're not. They make hot sauce too. The 2 mulberry bushes, trees, one day. And these wildflowers still come up. It's actually bolting the seed. Wow. When I pull them out there, they've been in there since the wildflowers have shot their seed because they were right under it on the outside. So 2 more mints. And these are, so I discovered that the mints in the buckets or pots, they dry out faster, which I should have known. So this is my left of my woody pineapple sage. Yeah, woody pineapple sage. It was massive. It kind of spread, and this is what I'm going to do is just cut the really alive with roots, because it's got some roots on it, and just stick it in the ground, and it'll take over before winter. Alright, so this is African basil. This is what I planted a while ago. We'll take a better look. So this is what's left of about 20 collard greens on a stem looks like. What I did, if you catch it soon enough, you can tape it and regrow these. This is the healthiest. So if they happen like this and water gets down and it starts to die, then it'll create rotting. So this basil really hasn't been harvested. So a lot of dehydrating to do. So this is the other large lemongrass. 3 total. Then the rest are younger. Then I harvested 7 lemongrass and I left those 2 extra larges just the way they were. So where I'm standing was a rosemary. But the aphids really, I don't know, they like it. It's a mint family, but something was eating it. So there was 3 here. Those are what's left. Some okra plants. Some okra on it. I usually just make tea out of it. Not tea, but aloe vera slime. And seeds will fall. Nice okra. So if you keep them watered, good fertilized, they'll be just fine and they'll be more juicy and tender. if you let them grow tall and long. So this was just a pineapple sage. There's 2 plants in here. That's what it looks like when it's just put in the ground. That had no roots on it before I planted it. I just stuck it in the ground with other plants and that what came up. Well, the stem was there, but it's a herb. So mint, they don't like the hot temperatures. I put some manure on it, but before that I put topsoil and that kind of burned them. Coming this way, there's the cat Precious, another okra. So this was all from cutting. I'll get kind of my walk space. Those are all from cuttings. Those African basil. Only bought 2 African basil plants, and that's how much it made. But let's see here, guys. I'm gonna walk with the hose. So this is a perennial flower, wildflower. I did trim it back because it was leaning over and shading the other plants. Another whoa, Chris. It's another African basil. Oh, it's at my camera. And these, which is shaded, it's probably almost dead. Some perennials that I bought with that one, but it's really shading. So these ones, this was sweet here. Very smelly. All these shoots are seeds. This is not African basil. This was grown from seed. Just basil. Now we're getting to the exciting part. Alright. So I've harvested at one time a couple hundred peppers off these 3 plants, what we'll see. I call these the Christmas plants. They're the Christmas lights. But very big. It's taller than me up here. I'm 6'1" or so. So it's definitely taller than 6 feet. So this is the collard green that has chocolate mint. The chocolate mint was still there, but it took over once it rooted. This is what the collards look like. So these parts right here, that's what got eaten on those big ones. Then water got in and started to rot the stem. If you catch it fast enough, it won't rot it. Alright, I think we started over here. So this is eggplant. There's 2 plants in here. One's extra large, probably full grown. It'll still grow, but every eggplant is staked. There's about 10 eggplant in here. There's some other collards down here. Then another lemongrass. This is all new growth from here to here in about a week and a half. I did put some manure down to give it some fertilizer. So I planted these cayenne peppers. They didn't plant them deep enough. I think I used my hand. So a lot of them didn't take, but well, they're still kicking. I'm going to do that better. So this is rosemary. Very fertile spot to grow. I did trim it back for cuttings. Lots of rosemary. So this mint here survived, basil, the winter, and it came back. I barely harvested it, so it would be bushier if I pruned it back. But it's lasted. It hasn't died in 2 years. Alright, so this is the other Tabasco pepper plant. The first fertilizing before the manure was compost mixed in with the manure. So that made a lot of yellowing with the fertilizer, but all new growth came up. So when I usually harvest the peppers, I wait till they're this. So if I cut all of them back and make a couple hundred, then I'll have more because they have room to grow. So another collard, this is my other collard area. The stevia, I should have took a lot more better care. It's bolted to seed. I'll try to let it do that. And I won't trim them off. That might hurt the plant, and the seeds will make new stevia. Some collards behind me, in front of me. So this is a large jalapeno plant. There were 2, one died. This is what's left of those 2. More okra through there. And there's a lemon balm that I grew from seed. It's the only one that took from seeds, because you can put a lot down there. Alright, so there's a lot of eggplant. I'm guessing over 10. Every stem on the eggplant has a eggplant. Just another okra. Alright, so this is regrown. Since I've cut it, we're green new freshness. Alright, some more collards here. We got that. Did we get those ones? Alright, so this is lemon balm. It usually dies back in fall. Just the way it grows, not like it's hurt. And then once you cut from the stem, all bushy come back from cutting it. But that's lemon balm. Those are about 4 plants. Yeah. So Tabasco peppers. This is the last one. It's got flowers still on it with fruit. And nice size. It's about as tall as me in one spot. I did stake them in a couple large bamboo stakes, and that seemed to help. So even though there's no big large collard greens, there's still some. These ones get a lot of good shade from this sage tree. And then I have mint pots everywhere. So what did we miss? Alright guys, so the eggplant from this side. 2 eggplants. African basil. So this eggplant's the only seed that survived in the batch. Got a flower on it. We shall see, we shall see. And this is Tootsie, or Tulsi, whatever. That was a lemon balm that needs to be cut back. I'm sure it's perfectly healthy down below. Not cold or anything, but just not harvested enough. But that grew from cutting. I just put in the ground and had no roots, but it grew. And this is a perennial. I bought this with the other plants. Bought about 5 plants, 2 large ones like this one and that one over there, the purple flowers. But this has a border here. This is a beautiful flowering plant, azalea I think it's called. Got some other plants down here. I did go through thoroughly weeding the garden. Only weeds that are left are over there that are a little bit that I've just seen, and then under the basil. Alright guys, so these are pretty much new. I dug up these perennial chives. I put them in cuttings that I grew from water and then into the pot of soil, and then I transplanted that into here. Now if you do that, you can jumpstart a real good healthy crop of. It's another chive, same way. I did put oregano through here that whatever survived. But with all these, some didn't make it because they were not doing well. But there's mint in every single one. These are Tom's orange trees. That was garlic, but I didn't do good with the garlic because the rain came. Some mint, healthy mint. So this tomato plant grew from the tomatoes falling, and then that came up. That's all cherry tomato. I'm guessing the beefsteaks on the bottom, they take longer to germinate, it seems. Asparagus that needs to be transplanted. Pineapple sage that needs to be transplanted. I put all my oreganos outside so they stay nice and clean from dirt and hopefully bugs from the dirt. Mint. So a lot of these mints, some of them got burnt back real bad. Oregano. This is Greek oregano. And there's some Italian coming this way. Italian. Another oregano. More mint. That was from a cutting, guys. All that chocolate mint. Chocolate mint, the stems, if you get them young, you can chew the stems and they're so strong. Sage, these are the sage that only survived, but they are rooted in. So you need to prune back. And some more mint. I put them in on the borders. On the border, you should say. So mustard that came up. And we forgot the celery. I'll just say it now. The celery we missed. Some mint. Mint. There was 4 trash cans of these. Some got melted back by the sun. The other ones are okay. And then some more mint. So I'm guessing this is a beefsteak tomato or a celebrity or whatever. It just looks like a big tomato plant. But that just came up randomly too. So in these couple bins are maggots eating all the nitrogen organic matter. So they're still in some of these. But 4 bins for composting. This one I'm letting it grow and see what comes up because I can't heat it that good. So I need to get a black bag and put them in there and bake for a few days with the basil stems, and I put some paper in there to increase. Yeah. And this is the fertilizer I use. It's black cow manure or cow manure. It's a cheaper one. Alright, so this is Tom's lilac tree. It is a tree, but it's young. He brought it down from up north to down here. All right, so it'll have a beautiful flower. All right, guys, I'm gonna take some far shots now. Pumpkin, pumpkin, don't eat the grass, the weeds. Alright guys, celery, there's still some celery I could harvest, but they're a cold crop and they only get better. So mustard came up. I think there's 2 mustards, one here, 2 right there actually.